Welcome to Crime Insight, where we uncover the darkest truths hidden behind America's most chilling crimes. Tonight, we dive into the twisted mind of Gary Ridgway, better known as the Green River Killer, one of the most prolific serial killers in U.S. history. He was a man who murdered for decades and almost got away with it. It all started in the summer of 1982. A young boy, riding his bike along the serene Green River in Washington, made a horrifying discovery: the body of a woman floating face down in the water. This was only the beginning. Over the next few weeks, more bodies were found. All women, all dumped in or near the same river. The media gave him a name: the Green River Killer. To the police, he was a ghost. To the women of Seattle, he was their worst nightmare. Gary Leon Ridgway looked like your average American man, a soft-spoken truck painter. Married, quiet, and polite. But beneath that calm mask lurked a predator. He roamed the streets of Seattle, targeting vulnerable women, many of them sex workers. He would pick them up, strangle them in his truck or his home, and then discard their bodies in remote areas. Chillingly, he would often return to the dump sites, sometimes days later, to revisit his victims. In his own words, "I killed so many women, I can't remember the number." The police formed the Green River Task Force, a massive investigation that spanned years. They were so desperate that they even brought in Ted Bundy, another infamous serial killer, hoping he could offer insight into the mind of their suspect. Bundy suggested the killer would return to the crime scenes, and he was right. But even with that key piece of information, the killer stayed one step ahead, always vanishing back into the shadows. In 1987, Ridgway was finally questioned. Police took a DNA sample, but at the time, forensic science was still in its infancy. In a shocking turn, he passed a polygraph test and walked free. For nearly 14 more years, he continued his life, hiding in plain sight, a monster living among us. Then, in 2001, science finally caught up. Breakthroughs in DNA technology connected Ridgway to multiple victims through old evidence samples that had been preserved for years. When police finally arrested him at his workplace, Ridgway calmly said, "You've got me." To avoid the death penalty, he agreed to cooperate. He confessed to killing 71 women, though investigators believe the real number could be over 90. He led them to hidden remains, scattered in remote forests and ravines, revealing the true scale of his horror. Ridgway claimed he killed to clean up the streets, but experts describe him as a man driven by rage, control, and a deep-seated hatred toward women. He preyed on those he thought wouldn't be missed, the vulnerable, the forgotten. But each victim had a name, a story, a life stolen by a man who thought he could simply erase them. In 2003, Gary Ridgway pleaded guilty to 49 counts of murder, the most by any single serial killer in U.S. history at that time. He was sentenced to 49 life sentences without parole. Today, he remains behind bars at the Washington State Penitentiary, living reminder of the evil that can hide behind an ordinary smile. The Green River still flows quietly through Seattle, but its dark history will never be forgotten. Thank you for watching Crime Insight. If you want more stories of real crimes that shook the world, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. The next case might be even darker than this one.